Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're doing a bit of a shorter video compared to my Life is Strange and Life is Strange 2 icebergs, but hopefully you find this one entertaining. I was recently watching footage of the Life is Strange early build back when it was still called What If. A channel called Trash RB Player has some videos of the build and it's so interesting to look at. I noticed a few interesting details as well as just some funny things that I wanted to share with you guys. I already mentioned some stuff about the early build in my follow-up to the Life is Strange iceberg, but this video is focused exclusively on the early build, more specifically on episode 1. Before I get into the video, I just wanted to make it clear that I am in no way making fun or criticizing the developers or the game itself. I don't know anything about game development apart from the fact that it's extremely complex and labor intensive, and I love the Life is Strange franchise in case that wasn't obvious already. This video is just basically me pointing out some details from the early build that I thought were interesting or that made me laugh for one reason or another. The finished game is a masterpiece and DONTNOD did an incredible job with it. With that being said, let's get started with the video. Placeholder photos in the diary. Placeholders are often used in video game development and are defined as temporary resources used during the development of a game in place of final resources that haven't been created yet. A lot of different placeholders can be seen in the early build, whether it be placeholder text, character models, or other assets that haven't been made yet. For example, when looking at Max's diary, it looks like the developer used some placeholder photos of real people to replace some of the characters. Mr. Jefferson's photo is Michael Fassbender, Rachel is Imogen Poots, and there's also a real photo being used for Victoria, but I can't find who it is for the life of me. So if you know who it is, let me know in the comments. Jessie Palmer. We knew from the Life is Strange iceberg that Rachel was going to be called Jessie originally, but something we find out from the early build is that her last name was going to be Palmer, which is most likely a nod to the Laura Palmer from Twin Peaks. I'm not sure why they changed it. Maybe they felt that there was already enough references to Twin Peaks in the game, or maybe they thought it would spoil Rachel's fate too much for people that have seen the show, since Laura is found dead at the beginning of the series. Placeholder text. Another example of placeholders being used in the early build is the text for some of the dialogues. If you stop and read the lines, some of them are quite funny. For example, Brooke says, "I'm such a nerd, my drone is so cool," when playing with a drone outside of Blackwell Academy. Most of the placeholder text is just a lot simpler and less natural sounding than the final text that can be heard in a game. Oh, and of course, most of the audio, when it exists, is just text to speech, which leads to some amazing moments such as this.
Whoa. You feel like totally haunted by the A's of those sad mothers and children. Amazing, and now I feel tired. Because chill out, nobody dosed you.
Leave them out of this, bitch.
I called and threatened to snitch on him to the cops if he didn't pay $3,000 cash.
Now we can go to the drive-in. There's one of New Bert, just 60 miles away.
Max? Chloe?
No way. You again?
Warren?
Go, go. I got this. Get your punk asses out of there. Don't even try to run. Nobody messes with me. Nobody.
Models being reused and ghost models. Since the game was still in development, some of the character models hadn't been made yet, so it looks like the developers reused some of the existing character models as placeholders. When that's the case, they kind of just look like white ghost versions of the characters, with the letters CH for character and the name of the character they're replacing. For example, in the whole scene at the beginning, we can see a ghost Chloe and a ghost David walking together. Both are supposed to be just two random teenagers. We can also see another ghost Chloe, but this one is Dana, as we will see later on when we interact with her. Later on we can see that Brooke's model is a Max model, and so on. Draw your swords. In the finalized game, Max plays a song called Crosses by Jose Gonzalez if you get her to play the guitar in her room. In the early build, she plays a song by Angus and Julia Stone called Draw Your Swords. This song happens to be one of my favorites of theirs, so I was really happy when I noticed that. Alyssa's hair. Alyssa's hair is blue in the early build. I'm not sure why they changed it. I thought the blue was cool, but in the finalized game it's purple. It might have been because Chloe also has blue hair. Sliding walking. This one is more of a dumb thing that made me laugh, but basically it looks like the walking animations for some of the characters or scenes weren't finalized, so some of the characters just appear to be sliding around, like Justin in the background of this scene for example. or this one straight out of a horror movie where Courtney and Taylor just slide out of nowhere towards Max. Also, I love this squirrel just sliding around in the background of the conversation with Brooke as well. Samuel's broom. Another funny detail is that the animation of Samuel sweeping also doesn't seem finished, which makes it look like he's sweeping with an imaginary broom while his real broom is just magically standing upright by itself. I mean, there is a theory that Samuel has powers, so... Edouard and DONTNOD on a notice board in the dorms. In the dorms, you can see a few interesting details on one of the notice boards. The first one is the DONTNOD logo, and there's also the name Edouard, which I thought might refer to Edouard Kaplan, who's a French concept artist and illustrator who worked on the first 2 Life is Strange games. The man we can see in the picture also looks somewhat like Edouard, but it's hard to tell. There's also a number, which I believe to be 318, but I don't know what that means. I decided to email Edouard to ask him about this in the hopes that he might shed some light on this, and he very kindly responded. He explained that this is indeed a photo of him and is a private joke from his friend Joanne Foissy, who was an environment artist on the game and was sitting next to him. Joanne Foissy made this montage from a photo of Edouard that was on the shared DONTNOD drive as a placeholder while waiting for the assets that Edouard was making. Edouard then made those assets, and they're the ones that appear in the finalized game. As for the number, he said it might have been the old room number system, but he wasn't sure. Looking at the dorm map, the closest number I can find is Dana's room, which is 218, and is closest to the bathroom, close to where the board is. I also thought that the whole notice board had been replaced in the finished game, but it turns out that Edouard's name and the number are still up there. I'm not sure if that's a nod from the same colleague or from someone else, but I thought it was an interesting detail to mention. Thanks again to Edouard, it was very kind of him to answer my questions about this old project of his. Victoria slept with Zach instead of just setting up Dana. In the finalized game, the drama between Dana and Juliet, where Juliet is locking Dana up in her room because she thinks she slept with her boyfriend, was all set up by Victoria.
Boom! This is the email I need to show Juliet.
In the early build, however, Victoria went a bit further and actually slept with Zach herself. Max can find a photo of Victoria in Zach's bed as proof. I know Victoria's a mean girl, but that seems a bit much.
What choice will you pick?
I pick the choice one.
Choice 1 is a good choice. Dial is new finished.
Don't worry, it's only water. And do you know what water does to cashmere? BFFFF, come on, let's move. Victoria, are you alright? Don't let me see. Go fetch a towel in my room.
Show me, miss.
You don't touch me either. Get out of here. Yeah, well done, Max. I love this class. I wish the class loved me. Booyah, I did it. I'm a human time machine.
Yo, Max, check it out.
And that's it for this video on the early build of Life is Strange. Once again, thank you Trash RB Player for uploading this footage, it's so interesting to watch. Let me know if you want me to look at the other episodes as well for another video, I can definitely do that. If you have any other ideas for videos you'd like me to make in 2022 related to Life is Strange or not, let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for your support this year. I can't wait for you guys to see what I have planned for next year, so make sure you subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out. And since this is my last video of 2021, I'll see you in 2022. Happy holidays! Bye!